knowing that the last time I was in this chamber I was thrown out. And so today, Mr. Speaker, I come in peace. And the floor is yours, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Moses Kajwang, my distinguished Senate brother. Honorable members of various parliaments, starting with our own National Assembly and Senate, and all other parliaments that have been acknowledged in introduction by the Honorable Kajwang. Allow me to welcome you to the House of Parliament, to the Republic of Kenya, for this very important climate change summit. The first in Africa, to convene in Africa to talk about Africa for the Africans. As students of history, you know, in 1896, a group of Europeans congregated in Berlin, Germany, and called themselves the Berlin Conference, sometimes called the Congo Conference. These Europeans decided to share Africa. They called it the scramble for and partition of Africa. They shared Africa into many, many, many small countries and ended up giving the Congo as a gift, a personal possession of the King of Belgium. And there started the destruction of our continent. They embarked on violently uprooting communities in Africa, violently drawing boundaries, cutting off communities from one country to another. I saw my Ugandan friends here from where I come from. I'm a frontier citizen, and the majority of my relatives are in Uganda. Then they built railways running from inland to the coast everywhere. There's no railway in Africa that was built running from one landlocked country to another. It was all from inland to the coast, inland to the coast. They embarked on looting our wealth. The entire Western world was built on African sweat, on African wealth, starting with slave trade, slavery, colonialism, imperialism, and currently unequal terms of trade, where we give them our raw materials and take back finished products at sometimes 10, 20 times their original cost. I'm giving you this background to understand why Africa is where we are. We pollute least, we suffer most. And those who pollute sometimes have treated Africa with extreme dishonor. Those of you who are in Paris, and I was, after the Paris summit and the Paris agreement, the greatest polluter on earth, America, their president called the Paris Agreement a mischievous fraud. If you remember, President Trump, who embarked on reversing literally everything that Obama had done, called the Paris Agreement a mischievous fraud and threw it through the window. So as African legislators, representatives of the people of this great continent, even as we congregate to talk, sometimes you find, when you withdraw to think deeper, that we are alone and on our own. We get tokens not commensurate with what has been taken from us, not commensurate with what we deserve, not commensurate with equity, not commensurate with human dignity. So as you sit here as representatives of the people of this continent, having sat yesterday listening to our presidents from across the continent, speaking candidly, emotionally, and openly about our plight as Africa, I want to encourage us that we strive to move ourselves from a continent of despair to a continent of hope. Because the future is with us. The future is right here in Africa. There are three lungs of the world in terms of climate: the Congo, the Amazon, and the Borneo in Indonesia. But the Congo is the biggest, the richest ecosystem, and if we protect it, its catalytic effect on many other parts of Africa will be felt. Africa is a continent that has been for many years been an object of pity by those who put us where we are, and an object of hopelessness. But nobody will spring us from that despair and hopelessness except ourselves. You are told yesterday that all the commitments from the developed world about adaptation funds, mitigation funds, and all these climate change issues have never been met to the full, sometimes not even 50%. So we must be innovative as Africans. We must think differently as Africans. If you go to your villages, there are stories that you'll be told by villagers who have never gone to anybody's school, but when you listen to them, the conclusion is there is climate change. You'll be told there used to be a big river here, and all you see is a dry gully. You'll be told there was a forest over there, and when you look there, there's no forest.
Honorables and esteemed guests, my name is Nakia Jomani Sound. I'm 11.
We can listen to it.
Maybe it can come later.
Honorables and esteemed
Please,
guests,
Secretariat,
my
let
name
it come
is
later.
Nakia Jomani Sound.
Yeah, let it come later. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. So you'll be told there was a forest there, and when you look, you see no forest. You'll be told we used to do things differently.